When powerful prosecutors face their own legal scrutiny, the tables turn in ways that shake the very foundations of our justice system. The legal team defending Jack Smith, the former special prosecutor who pursued criminal cases against Donald Trump, has launched a fierce counterattack against what they're calling a politically motivated investigation into their client's conduct. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't just another legal spat. It's a battle that could fundamentally reshape how federal prosecutors operate when investigating high-profile political figures. In a strongly worded response letter sent Tuesday to Acting Office of Special Counsel Jamieson Greer, attorneys Lanny Breuer and Peter Koski from the prestigious Covington and Burling firm didn't mince words. They characterized the entire investigation as built on imaginary and unfounded premises, language that's surprisingly direct for typically measured legal correspondence. The controversy stems from a complaint filed by Republican Senator Tom Cotton, who accused Smith of deliberately timing his prosecution efforts to damage Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. Cotton's allegation centers on potential Hatch Act violations, a federal law that restricts political activities by government employees. The irony? The same law designed to prevent political interference is now being weaponized in what appears to be a politically charged investigation. And this is the part most people miss. The Office of Special Counsel investigating Smith is an entirely different entity from the special counsel position Smith himself held. This watchdog agency, typically focused on federal employee misconduct, rarely ventures into the complex world of prosecutorial decision-making. Smith's legal team argues this represents dangerous new territory that could handcuff future prosecutors. Smith's attorneys paint a dramatically different picture of their client's motivations and actions. They assert that Smith demonstrated fierce commitment to making prosecutorial decisions based exclusively on evidence, not political considerations. According to their response, Smith meticulously followed Justice Department guidelines and federal prosecution principles throughout both cases, the classified documents retention charges and the election interference conspiracy allegations. The timing of events adds another layer of complexity to this already intricate situation. Both of Smith's high-profile cases against Trump were ultimately dismissed following Trump's successful 2024 presidential campaign. Adhering to the long-established Justice Department policy that sitting presidents cannot face prosecution. Critics argue this timing proves Cotton's point about political motivation, while defenders maintain it simply reflects standard prosecutorial practice. But here's what makes this investigation particularly unusual and potentially troubling for legal experts. The Office of Special Counsel traditionally operates in a completely different sphere from federal prosecutors. Smith's attorneys emphasize this unprecedented nature, stating they're aware of no court decision, prior Office of Special Counsel finding, or other authority that would support applying Hatch Act restrictions to prosecutors investigating former officials or political candidates. The broader implications extend far beyond Smith's individual situation. His legal team warns that such an unprecedented interpretation of federal ethics law could severely compromise the Justice Department's ability to investigate and prosecute public officials or political candidates in the future. This raises uncomfortable questions. Should prosecutors avoid cases involving political figures during election cycles? Where do we draw the line between legitimate law enforcement and political interference? The investigation unfolds against a backdrop of increasing political tensions surrounding the justice system. The current administration has established a weaponization working group within the Justice Department, with Smith reportedly among the officials under scrutiny. While the extent of this scrutiny remains unclear, it signals a broader effort to examine previous prosecutorial decisions through a political lens. What's particularly striking about Tuesday's letter is that it represents Smith's legal team's first public statement since dismissing the Trump prosecutions post-election. The timing suggests growing concern about potential retaliation against prosecutors who pursued cases against political figures. Smith's attorneys have made one thing crystal clear. They demand meaningful input before any official findings or reports emerge from this investigation. They're essentially calling for transparency in what they view as a fundamentally flawed process, insisting that any finding by the Office of Special Counsel is fully informed by the record. The stakes couldn't be higher. This investigation doesn't just determine one prosecutor's fate. It could establish precedents that influence how federal law enforcement approaches politically sensitive cases for years to come. So here's the million-dollar question that nobody seems willing to ask directly. Are we witnessing the natural evolution of accountability in our justice system, or are we watching the deliberate weaponization of ethics laws to intimidate prosecutors who dare to investigate powerful political figures? The answer you choose likely depends on your political perspective, and that's exactly what makes this controversy so dangerous for the long-term health of our legal institutions. What's your take? Should prosecutors face this level of scrutiny when investigating political figures? Or does this represent a chilling effect on legitimate law enforcement? The comment section awaits your thoughts on this explosive debate that's reshaping the boundaries between justice and politics.